Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association Cup Series. We have a special treat for you tonight. We have double the racing with our double header, starting with the re-airing of the Cup Series from Watkins Glen. That took place last Sunday. We were unable to broadcast it here at the Rebel Racing Network because I was out of town for the Thanksgiving holiday, but we are re-airing it tonight, and I've kept it as authentic as possible. I have not looked at the results for this race, but I have been informed that it was a very exciting finish, so make sure you stay tuned in for that. And then immediately after our race from Watkins Glen, we are moving on to tonight's race live from Homestead, Miami, where the Cup Series drivers will compete for 100 laps. Now, the rules for the Watkins Glen race, these drivers competed for 50 laps. The weather was 78 degrees out clear. That track temperature sitting at a whopping 106 degrees. And I've been reviewing the pit strategy here. They were given unlimited sets of tires, and I believe it was 100% fuel. They should only have to pit once during this entire race. And as usual, they were also given their one quick repair to get this done. And here at road courses, this is an oval league making their one trip of the season to the road course. That quick repair is going to come in handy. The cars are currently on track for qualifying. We've got some new faces in here as well. John Ross, I don't think I've ever called his name this season. He is making his debut here in that number 44. And we've got some familiar faces as well. The 29 of Seth LaCroix looking to continue to improve his standings in the points. The times are starting to come in. That 44 of John Ross, a time of 1 minute 10 seconds. 1 minute 10.775, a tenth of a faster than that 29 of Seth LaCroix. You see Seth trying to improve on lap number 2. We're going to go check in with that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. Has some issues going through the bus stop. The brakes appear to have failed on that 57 car as he puts it in the outside wall. Not what he wanted to see during his qualifying run, as he's going to reset and try again. And checking in with Christian Delgado in the 13 machine. He looks to lay down a fast lap here, making his way down the front stretch for his first lap. And a good time for Delgado, 1 minute 11.49. Good enough to get him into the top 5 before everyone's runs come in. And Vincent Isabella's first time has come in 1 minute 12.21. Vincent Isabella, we saw him in the ARCA series here at Watkins Glen. Exciting battle pretty much the whole race for that number 3 car. He's looking to continue that here tonight. We see Isabella going off track there. Now halfway through this qualifying run, they have 5 minutes to qualify. or I'm sorry, 10 minutes to qualify. 5 minutes are gone. 5 minutes left in qualifying. We're getting set up here for your opening ceremonies presented by NORA Flyovers. Isabella not improving at all on his second lap. He's sitting 11th right now. Take a look at Byron Gay in that 20 car. Move over to take a look at the 74 of Dawson Price. We've seen him before on these road courses. He is very competitive here. He's going to be one to keep an eye on here tonight. So he brings it down the front stretch. And Dawson Price with that time, 1 minute 10.6 seconds. Gonna take the pole here. Only a few cars left on track. Joshua Edmonds currently on track as well. Trying to chase that pole position. His first lap, he was about a second off. He's going to need to improve if he wants to get up front for this one. Edmonds not going to get it done there. Looks like Dawson Price, the only car left on track for qualifying at this point, and he has already got that pole position locked up. It appears that Samuel Reed, Jamie Dunning, and Christopher Foote will not be qualifying here in this one. Dawson Price completes his run. We are going to head down trackside for your opening ceremonies presented by NORA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able. Remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back just waiting for the drivers to begin gridding up. The race will be starting momentarily. All right, the drivers have begun girding up. We're going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid here. Dawson Price has taken the pole in that number 74 car. John Ross will be starting second in the 44 machine. Seth LaCroix will be rolling off third in the 29 car. Byron Gay will be starting fourth in the 20. In fifth, rolling off fifth place, we have the 4 of Tyler Street. Michael Prince will start sixth, driving into the 31. Christian Delgado will be rolling off 7th in the 13. Rolling off 8th will be the 17 of Joshua Edmonds. Justin Day will be rolling off 9th, driving the 1 machine. Tristan Haynes will be rolling off 10th in the 99 car. Leroy Koblenz will be starting 11th in the 42 machine. Joseph Truskowski will be rolling off 12th in the 57 car. Starting 13th will be the 3 of Vincent Isabella. And 14th will be Jonathan Dominics in the 45. Stephen Blevins will roll off 15th in the 51 machine. Rolling off 16th will be Braden Craycraft in the 00. Chris Evans will be starting Chris Evans will be starting 17th in the 23 car. Mike Hill will be rolling off 18th in the 27 machine. Stephen Linger will be rolling off 19th in the 91 machine. Chris Jones will be starting 20th in the 6 car. And 21st will be Terrell Wheeler driving the 43. Jamie Lee Dunning will be rolling off 22nd in the 54 car. Samuel Reed will be rolling off 23rd in the 56. Christopher Foote will be rolling off 24th in the 21 car. And that will round out your field for this one as they continue their parade lap here. We're going to go back to the front, and it looks like we are going to have a battle up front. John Ross looking to make a name for himself tonight. Dawson Price looking to continue his dominance here on the road courses. Seth LaCroix back there in third. He is always competitive. I know he is hungry for another win here. He has had some frustrations as of late here in NORA, and he is looking to bounce back. As they make their way through the course here, I tell you what, the thing that has got to be on everyone's mind is that turn 1 turn. That can be very treacherous starting out from a rolling start here on road courses, especially for these oval drivers. The pace car is off. They make their way down the front stretch here. Green flag is out. They are Dawson Price leading the field down into turn 1. And it looks like most everyone is going to make it through clean here. No incidents to report just yet. Dawson Price, your leader. John Ross back there in second. They are opening up that gap early. We're going to see how long these tires are going to hold on for, though. They're getting single file relatively early. We saw Vincent Isabella in that 3 car looking to jump out of line, trying to gain some ground here. We've seen him very dominant in the ARCA series, especially here at the road courses, but his times are a little bit off tonight. Joseph Truskowski, that 57 car, we know how hungry he is to get to the front. He's already started that conquest here tonight. He has gotten by Leroy Koblenz to take away 11th here on lap 1. And everyone keeping it clean through lap 1. And once again, guys, there are no full course cautions tonight. If you wreck, there will be no caution. That has got to be in the back of every driver's mind here. It looks like we've got our first incident of the night. Mike Hill going off track here at 27 car slow. Trying to get it back up to speed, but he is going to drop back to 21st. We move back up to the front of the field. John Ross not letting Dawson Price pull away here. Now 3 laps into this one, they are single file, but Dawson Price losing a step there to John Ross. It looks like John Ross starting to catch back up. Vincent Isabella now being shown off track. Isabella is sideways. We'll be going back to take a look at that. And we are back here at the front of the field as the race goes on. Dawson Price still in control of this one, looking to open up that gap. Now, about a half a second between him and John Ross, but John Ross is not going away here. Seth LaCroix losing ground here. He is now about 2 seconds back from the leader as we see that 29 of LaCroix go through the grass. We're looking at the 13 of Christian Delgado trying to go to work on that 20 of Byron Gay. Delgado showing some speed here. Byron losing some ground here. He is down 2 positions from where he started and has dropped out of the top 5 back to 6th. We cut it back to the front. It looked like there was an issue with Dawson Price. It appears to be an internet issue where he is blinking out. John Ross closing the gap by 1/10 of a second on him there. We said John Ross is not going away. He is continuing to close that gap here. Now down to 2/10 of a second between the two. I tell you what, Seth LaCroix definitely wants to see that 44 of John Ross catching Dawson Price. If they get side by side. That would allow Seth LaCroix to maybe close that almost 3-second gap back up here. We are now 6 of 50 laps into this one. And we're seeing our first pit stop of the night. That 21 of Christopher Foote bringing that car down pit road. Not sure what happened here. We are not showing him involved in an incident. Let's move back to the front, looking at the 4 of Tyler Street. Currently sitting about 6 seconds back from the leader. And we will check in with the 57 of Joseph Truskowski as well. He is up another position now to 10th. But our biggest mover of the night is that 56 of Samuel Reed. He has been on the move up 9 positions from where he started. It looks like Mike Hill had another incident. We are showing him involved in another incident, as well as Chris Jones. Mike Hill and Chris Jones both involved in an incident on lap 6. Chris Jones currently on pit road. But going back to that 56 of Samuel Reed, he has just completed the pass for 13th as he is pulled in front of Tristan Haynes. Samuel Reed on the move here. Once again, that 56 car did not qualify, but he has the speed. We're going to see if he can make his way up to the front before this one is over. He is currently sitting about 20 seconds back from the leader, so that is a tall order to fill. As Braden Craycraft now in trouble on lap 16. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened to him. All right, and Braden Craycraft has got that car back and running here on lap 7. He currently sitting at 16th, right where he qualified. We go back to this battle for the lead here. John Ross still trying to find a way to close that gap and get around Dawson Price. But he has put the pressure on that 74 car multiple times through this one. A lot of this is going to be timing. When do you want to make your move? You can put that pressure on the 74 car, maybe get him to get those tires a little bit warm. The track is very warm here tonight. That is going to make things slick. So if he can get Dawson Price to make a mistake here, that might be John's only opportunity. Seth LaCroix currently falling to about 5 seconds behind the leaders now. Tyler Street, Michael Prince, both 7 seconds behind the leader. Michael Prince, though, having a night here. We've not talked about him very much on the Rebel Racing Network, but he is currently running top 5. He is shining here at the road course. Shining like a diamond, and that appears to be his sponsor, Diamond something. Now 10 laps gone in this one. Dawson Price is still the leader, but here comes John Ross. Looks like he is almost alongside Dawson Price. All over that back bumper. This battle for the lead has heated up. John looking to get to the right side of him as they go through the bus stop. Not able to make the move there. John trying to find that speed. He is in that dirty air here. Here we see Dawson Price being shown that blue and yellow flag by the flagman. That means there is a faster car behind you. But Dawson Price not going to let him by. That was a cool shot there. Get to see the flagman hold up that blue and yellow flag. As a driver, you don't get to see that very... You don't really notice the flagman actually holding up the flag. It'll just pop a flag up in the corner of your screen. And honestly, even on the broadcast, we don't get to see the flagman a whole lot. Normally... we are zoomed out where it's harder to see him, or the focus is on the cars, but an excellent shot by iRacing there. As John Ross starting to back off here, and while all this is going on, Seth LaCroix still continuing to lose ground here. These top two guys are extremely fast. You go back, check in with that 56 of Samuel Reed as he is closing in with the 45 of Jonathan Dominics. And we see that blue and yellow flag again held up by that flag man. Or Jonathan Dominic's trying to fend off Samuel Reed. Samuel Reed, the faster car here. We go back to check in on the battle for the lead. It looks like Braden Craycraft caught up in this one. Also may have caught Chris Jones as well. Chris Jones already 2 laps down. Not having the night he wanted. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened here. All right, and Craycraft able to get that car back on track here. He's only lost 1 position from where he qualified. And I'm not seeing any damage to that 000. So it looks like he was able to keep it off the wall there. We're going to check in with Joseph Truskowski. He has gotten by Leroy Koblenz here. If you look at the front end of Joseph Truskowski's car, that splitter appears to be bent up just a tad bit. I wonder if he used the chrome horn there to get by Leroy Koblenz. And Seth LaCroix continuing to fall behind these two leaders. All right, in that battle for the lead continuing here, John Ross trying to make his way around Dawson Price. They are approaching lap traffic here. We saw a little bobble out of Dawson Price. John Ross going to get alongside him. He gets to the inside of that turn. John Ross, your new leader. Dawson Price makes a mistake there. Here on lap 14. We'll pull up our track map to give everyone a little bit of insight of where their driver is on the track. But John Ross getting around Dawson Price and immediately opening up that lead to 0.5 of a second. You see Steven Linger off track through the bus stop. Now comes the real trouble, trying to navigate lap traffic here. John Ross opening up that gap here. Looking back in the pack, Christian Delgado trying to work his way around Byron Gay to take over that 6th place position. Delgado's going to get Byron Gay. Delgado now to 6th. And that battle for the lead has continued. Dawson Price getting back alongside John Ross. And Dawson Price now back to the lead. We're looking through our scoring chart. Not sure what happened to John Ross. He was opening up that gap. It looks like he's made a mistake. Now dropping back to 1.5 seconds behind Dawson Price. And we move back further back in the pack. Samuel Reed back there in 12th now, trying to get by still trying to get by Jonathan Dominics. He is caught up to him. Here comes Samuel Reed trying to get alongside Jonathan Dominics. He's going to get there. Gets to the inside of that turn. Samuel Reed now up to 11th. He has to set his eyes on Leroy Koblenz. Moving back up A ninth. Joseph Truskowski still out in front of Leroy Koblenz. Currently running ninth. I've got to think that front end damage may be hurting the aero on that 57 car. So he is not charging to the front like we expected him to see him do here tonight. We go back checking with the 29 car as we see a car off track through the bus stop. I do believe that might have been the 00 of Braden Craycraft there. Dawson Price continuing to open up this gap over John Ross. Dawson looking for a dominant night here tonight. We have 19 laps in the books here. 6 lead changes here tonight. Most of those took place on the first lap, though. Dawson Price leading 17 laps out of the 19 that have been completed here. He is going to make it 18 as they cross the line and begin lap 20. But looking at that gap, it is starting to dwindle between Dawson Price and John Ross. Looks like we've got an issue for Stephen Blevins here in that 57 car. He is off track. We're going to head right back to the front as that gap is continuing to close between John Ross and Dawson Price. John showing some speed here. Now down to 30 laps to go. The gap now down to half a second between John Ross and Dawson Price. Ross continuing to close this gap. We're going to go back, check in with that 56 of Samuel Reed as he's still continuing to try and close that gap between him and Leroy Koblenz. He's going to have that lap traffic of Steven Linger to deal with before he can do that, though. So lap traffic beginning to become a factor in this one. Looks like that blinking has continued for Dawson Price. We showed John Ross becoming the leader there for just a split second. That 74 Having some internet issues. And we go back to check in with Leroy Cobblentz. Samuel Reed continuing to close in with him. Reed, by far the faster car throughout this one. As this battle for the lead between Dawson Price and John Ross beginning to heat up again. 0.3 of a second between the two, and they are approaching lap traffic. But we've got a battle between the 4 of Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix for third place. I do believe Seth LaCroix maybe made a mistake there. That's going to allow that 4 of Tyler Street to get on by him. Now down to 27 laps to go. And LaCroix beginning to feel that pressure from Michael Prince. Michael Prince going to get by LaCroix as well. Here we see Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix making it down pit road for their one pit stop here. It's going to be gas and go, maybe some tires to get them back into this one. The leader staying out, though. That may give Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix an opportunity to make up some time if they continue to stay out on those old tires. The way these two are battling for the lead, I know those tires have got to be used up. John Ross and Dawson Price going to drive by pit road. Yellow. All right, so I stand corrected. It looks like we did have a promoter's caution coming out here at lap 25, halfway through this one. That's going to reset things, and that is going to shake things up in the standings. LaCroix and Street pitted under green flag conditions, but they are still being shown on the lead lap here. That is going to give them the track position when this race restarts. All right, so a correction to that. It looks like the green flag is still out. Once again, no full course cautions. You know, they can throw a caution in certain areas of the course here. All right, correction. The pace car is on track. Here we go. We've got it figured out. The pace car is on track. John Ross being shown your new leader. Dawson Price appears to be out of gas, getting a push from the 29 of Seth LaCroix there. So Dawson Price ran out of gas just as the caution flag did come out, getting some help from teammate Seth LaCroix. His pit stops have started here. John Ross able to save enough gas, leading them down pit lane. And Tyler Street will move to the front of the pack here. As Dawson Price gets a shove down pit road from his teammate. He coasts that car down to his pit stall. Dawson Price will get that car serviced, but that is going to shake things up front now. Tyler Street, now your leader. Seth LaCroix will go to second. Samuel Reed will be running third now. Samuel Reed, that caution really paying off for that 56 car after not qualifying. He is up to third here. John Ross back there in fourth. Justin Day currently running fifth. Dawson Price appeared to be the only car short on gas throughout that run. He tries to catch up back to the pack. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back. The lights on the pace car are out. We will be resuming racing here. Tyler Street is your leader. Seth LaCroix in second place. Samuel Reed in third. John Ross in fourth. Justin Day rounding out your top five. So that shakeup in the standings. And Dawson Price has dropped all the way back to 12th after running out of gas before he can make it down pit road. So a huge shakeup in the standings here because of that yellow flag and Dawson Price running out of fuel. It did look like Seth LaCroix as well as Tyler Street were also in danger of running out of fuel. They elected to pit under a green flag, and that gave them the track position as the pace car dives off. Starter has the green flag in hand. We are back racing, folks. Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix side by side as they take off into turn one. It looks like everyone going to make it through turn one cleanly there. Tyler Street going to take over the lead. John Ross has moved up to third. John Ross pulling along, trying to pull alongside that 29 of Seth LaCroix. Byron Gay overshooting the bus stop. He's sideways. That is costly for that 20 car. Is LaCroix trying to hold on to that second place position. John Ross back there in third. He has fallen 7/10 of a second behind the leader. But we've seen John close this gap before, but now he's got two cars in front of him. He's also got that 56 of Samuel Reed getting ready to pressure him from behind. Reed has been on the move since this race started, currently sitting 19 positions ahead of where he started. He could become a factor here in the end of this one. As well as that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. Truskowski up 7 positions now to 5th. He cracks the top 5 for the first time tonight, and he did use that quick repair on pit road, has gotten that splitter repaired. He could become a factor as well. It's Tyler Street starting to pull away with this one. John Ross now getting alongside that 29 of Seth LaCroix. If I'm LaCroix, I don't want to battle John Ross too much for that position. He's going to let him on by. John Ross can get up there and put the pressure on Tyler Street. That could allow LaCroix and Reed to close this gap with the leader. We go back, check in with Dawson Price, looking to recover from that mistake of running out of fuel. He is now running 7th, trying to charge his way back up to the front of this one. John Ross continuing to close that gap with Tyler Street. He is there. John Ross going to get alongside Street. Street taking it wide, trying to find some speed. Street still holding on to that first place position as they get ready to go through the bus stop here. Correction, that was not the bus stop. Street got a little bit loose there as they come down the front stretch. John Ross now back to the lead. That has allowed Seth LaCroix to close the gap back up. I don't think Tyler Street's going to go away. We're now down to 18 laps to go. John Ross starting to open up that gap. Seth LaCroix trying to get back to Tyler Street's bumper. Now Tyler Street has that dirty air. That's going to slow him up just a little bit. That may work to Seth LaCroix's advantage here. We check back in with Dawson Price, now up to 6th. 17 laps to go. He does have a long way to go if he wants a podium finish in this one. We go back to the front. John Ross starting to run away with this. Tyler Street a full second behind him, and Street has got some pressure coming from Seth LaCroix and Samuel Reed. They continue to close that gap, and that is exactly what John Ross wants to see. He wants to see Seth LaCroix getting alongside Tyler Street. And those two slowing each other up. That would allow John Ross to continue to open up this gap, which currently sits at about 2 seconds between him and the rest of the pack. We're seeing some trouble for the 3 car. He's gone off track multiple times. He is struggling to keep that car under control. His dominance from the ARCA series not transferring over to the Cup series cars as much here at Watkins Glen. Isabella currently sitting back there in 13th. Jonathan Dominic's also having some trouble as well through the bus stop. It looks like that 45 car's got some front end damage on it. We go back to check in with the 74 of Dawson Price. About 2 seconds between him and the next car, Christian Delgado. Delgado running in 5th. He's up there still with that second, or that first pack. I can't really call John Ross a pack here. It was open up that lead to 3 seconds. But Seth LaCroix trying to get along Tyler Street through the bus stop. Street taking it wide there. LaCroix has gotten to that back bumper. Not able to quite match Tyler Street's speed through the corners. As we look at everyone's last lap time, John Ross almost running a second faster than Tyler Street and Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix about 1/10 of a second, less than 1/10 of a second. Only a couple hundredths of a second between Street and LaCroix. But Samuel Reed running almost 2/10 faster than Tyler Street that last time by. Samuel Reed quite possibly going to be a factor at the end of this one, at least in the battle for second. John Ross, though, putting on an absolutely dominant performance since he has taken lead. We did see him take the lead from Dawson Price earlier on in this one and appear to make a mistake to allow Price to get that lap or that position back. So I wouldn't count out Tyler Street just yet. We still have 12 laps to go in this one. We go back to check in with that 74 of Dawson Price, continuing to close that gap, trying to break back into the top 5 here. I know sitting back here in 6th in that 74 car, Dawson Price has got to be frustrated with himself after that mistake with the fuel mileage. Got to be kicking himself because he knows he could have won this. And at this point in the race, with 12 laps to go, you've got to set that aside and keep a clear head. If you do not have a clear head, you could make even more mistakes and find yourself even further back in the pack. So far, that 74 car has done an excellent job of that, trying to be perfect. As he tries to race back up to the pack. And it appears that Dawson Price has caught that pack, that 13 of Christian Delgado, getting ready to feel the pressure from that 74 car. Once Dawson Price starts working his way through this pack of 4 cars, that is going to shake things up. Now down to 10 laps to go as John Ross has just crossed the start and finish line. The gap between him and Tyler Street there in second now 6 seconds. We're seeing an issue with the 27 car of Mike Hill yet again. He is off track. He is off the pace. It looks like he's going to pull it down pit road. It looks like we missed it. Sammy Reed. Looks like he had an issue there. He is going to drop back 2 spots now to 6th. That allows Christian Delgado to move to 4th. Dawson Price back into the top 5 here. And we've got a battle for second now. Seth LaCroix has gotten alongside Tyler Street. LaCroix on the inside of that corner. Street taking it wide, trying to find some speed down the straightaway. But I think Seth LaCroix could take that position away from him here. And LaCroix will get that second place position away. LaCroix now to second. Street drops back to third. Christian Delgado in fourth. Dawson Price back there in fifth. We are down to 8 laps to go. And looking at that 44 of John Ross, he has stretched out that lead almost 9 seconds back to Seth LaCroix. Ooh, Christian Delgado in the wall there. A mistake for that 13 car. He makes contact with the wall. Samuel Reed getting back alongside him. Reed looking to get back into the top 5 here after his mistake. We go back to the battle for the podium. Dawson Price has closed that gap with Tyler Street. Street not letting the pressure off Seth LaCroix, though. We are down to 7 laps to go. Tyler Street still trying to find that speed. While all this is going on back in the pack, John Ross continuing to open up his gap. 11 seconds between him and Seth LaCroix now. He has gotten an excellent buffer. Even if John Ross is not perfect and makes a mistake, he has now 12 seconds to right that mistake and still finish strong in this one. But he has been perfect through this second run. At this point, he can just kind of cruise through these corners, does not have to push that car hard. 6 laps to go. He needs these guys to catch him. They would have to make up 2 seconds per lap, and I don't know if Seth LaCroix and Tyler Street can do that here. We see Dawson Price trying to get to work on Tyler Street. Now only 4 laps to go. John Ross continuing to open up that gap. Now almost to 13 seconds. LaCroix still trying to fend off Tyler Street. Dawson Price, we saw him lead the most laps in this race. He led a total of 23 laps. I don't think anyone is going to be able to beat that. Oh, trouble for Dawson Price. He gets sideways off the turn. He's going to have to tow back. A frustrating end to this one for that 74 of Dawson Price. We were talking earlier in this, that mistake with the fuel mileage, you have to keep a clear head, and it looks like he has let that frustration get the best of him. He just makes a mistake, puts that car in the wall, and it will tow back to pit lane. That will end Dawson Price's night. So now that battle for second. Seth LaCroix still holding on to that second place position. Tyler Street not able to find a way around him. We're down to 2 laps to go. We see Tyler Street wheel hopping it there. A huge mistake for that 4 car of Tyler Street. That is going to lose him a second on Seth LaCroix. Correction, a second and a half. Tyler Street making a mistake there. LaCroix not feeling the pressure anymore. Is John Ross going to take the white flag here? One more lap to go. John Ross with a 13.5-second lead. No one is going to be able to touch that 44 car. He just has to keep that car straight for one more lap. We see John Ross continuing to make his way through lap traffic. Lap traffic just going to get out of his way and let him make his run to the finish here. And John Ross going to bring it back to the front stretch. That checkered flag is waving. John Ross going to bring home the win here tonight. Street was able to get back to Seth LaCroix, but not going to get there in time. Seth LaCroix going to finish second. Tyler Street in third. Samuel Reed will finish fourth. Michael Prince will round out your top 5. As these drivers slow their cars, we're going to go ahead and run through our official results here. Taking home the win was John Ross. Seth LaCroix finishes second. Tyler Street comes home third. Samuel Reed will finish fourth. Michael Prince finishes fifth. Christian Delgado will finish sixth. Vincent Isabella in seventh. Byron Gay comes home in eighth. Justin Day finishes ninth. Leroy Koblenz finishes 10th. Dawson Price will finish 11th. Joshua Edmonds finishes 12th. Tristan Haynes comes home in 13th. Mike Hill will finish 14th. Steven Linger finishes 15th. Terrell Wheeler finishes 16th. And 17th was Chris Evans. Jonathan Dominics finishes in 18th. In 19th, we had Joseph Truskowski. 20th was Chris Jones. Stephen Blevins will finish 21st. Braden Craycraft finishes 22nd. Jamie Lee Dunning will come home in 23rd. And Christopher Foote will round out your field back in 24th. And the first lap is in, a time of 32.48. 0.3 of a second faster than anyone else who was able to who's completed their laps here. We're going to go check in with that 6 of Chris Jones as well. He is another one sporting the pink numbers, the Pink for Breast Cancer Awareness here tonight. He is racing in honor of his mother, Terry Jones, who passed in 2020 due to breast cancer. Chris Jones with a time of 33.389 on his first lap. A little bit off of the pace here. He is going to have to pick it up here. He wants to put that car up front. We're going to switch over to that 4 of Tyler Street. Currently sitting there in 4th place in the standings. Looks like he has some trouble on the end of lap 2. He taps the outside wall, then makes a beeline for the inside wall. Some heavy damage to that car. Not the way he wanted to end his qualifying run. And we're going to move back up to Dawson Price in the 74 car. Looks like he got loose off of turn 4 as well on his second lap. Not what he was looking for. Dawson Price, that 74 car, looking to bounce back after a frustrating week at Watkins Glen last week. We saw him running out of fuel right at the end of their first green flag run, and that cost him the race. He had dominated, led the most laps there at Watkins Glen, 23 laps, but his fuel strategy cost him. Vincent Isabella just finishing up his qualifying run. He is fast enough to take 4th away from Tyler Street. Now looking at 13 of Christian Delgado. He is another one running one of those special paint schemes. This one in honor of his dad, Michael Dobbs, who passed due to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2022. A lot of special paint schemes here tonight in honor of those loved ones who have battled or lost the battle to cancer. I know that is weighing on a lot of these drivers' minds tonight as they race in honor of their loved ones. And it looks like the qualifying runs have been completed. We're going to go ahead and head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by URA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back. Just waiting for the drivers to make their way to the starting grid. It looks like, correction, we actually have two drivers still on track making their qualifying runs, Terrell Wheeler and Blaine Brink. Blaine Brink making his Cup Series debut here tonight. He's currently sitting back there in 22nd. And Johnny Quick entering the chat. Excited for the race tonight. Saying Sandman is going to be the hard charger tonight. I believe, Johnny, you are referring to the 5 of Cody Sanderson, currently sitting back there in 23rd, uncharacteristic for that 5 car. We have just over a minute till it is race time. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
Welcome to Rebel Racing Network, the premier destination for professional iRacing esports broadcasting. We bring the virtual track to life with high-energy race commentary that captures every pass, every pit stop, every photo finish. Our team of expert broadcasters delivers real-time analysis, strategy breakdowns, and the excitement of wheel-to-wheel racing. And before the green flag drops, we set the stage with our signature pre-race flyovers, showcasing each circuit with stunning cinematic visuals that make you feel like you're there in real life. Whether you're chasing a championship or cheering on your favorite team, Rebel Racing Network covers every story, every series, and every unforgettable moment. From grassroots leagues to top-tier championships, we bring passion, precision, and performance to every broadcast. Subscribe now, watch live, feel the rush. This is Rebel Racing Network, where the action never lifts.
All right, and we are back, folks, just in time for gridding to begin. All right, and we are going to run through our official starting grid. Taking the pole will be that 44 of John Ross. Dawson Price will be rolling off second place in the 74 car. Braden Craycraft will roll off third in the triple zero. Vincent Isabella will be starting fourth in the 3 car. Leroy Koblenz will be rolling off fifth in the 42. Tyler Street will start sixth in the 4 car. Seth LaCroix will be starting seventh in the 29 machine. In eighth, we have Joshua Edmonds driving the 17 car. Samuel Reed will be rolling off ninth in the 56. Christian Delgado will start 10th in the 13 car. Joseph Truskowski will be rolling off 11th in the 57 car. Byron Gay will start 12th in the 20 car. In 13th, we have Chris Evans driving the 23 machine. Jonathan Dominics will be rolling off 14th in the 45 machine. Stephen Blevins will start 15th driving the 51 car. Stephen Linger will start 16th in the 91. Tristan Haynes will be rolling off 17th in the 99. Justin Day will start 18th driving the number 1. In 19th will be Joseph Miller driving the 16 car. Christopher Foote will start 20th in the 21 car. Terrell Wheeler will start 21st in the 43. Blaine Brink will be rolling off 22nd in the 14. And 23rd will be Cody Sanderson, driver of the 5. Chris Jones will be starting 24th in the 6 car. Scott Leonard will be rolling off 25th in the 28 machine. And 26th will be Mike Hill, driver of the 27 car. And rounding out your field in 27th will be the 9 of Cole Shapesky. Drivers are making their way onto track for their parade lap here. I tell you what, guys, it looks like we have almost a repeat of what we saw here last night as far as the top two. John Ross, Dawson Price starting on the front row. John Ross and Dawson Price absolutely dominant at Watkins Glen. Both of these drivers, John Ross was battling Dawson Price throughout that entire race, and Dawson Price's pit strategy came back to bite him. We'll see if Dawson has learned from that mistake last week. Let's see if he's a little bit more conservative with his pit strategy here this week. All right, and the green flag is out. We are off and racing, folks. Lap 1 of 100. John Ross jumping out to the lead here early. Dawson Price almost caught in the middle. We may have a 3-wide battle for the lead here. John Ross moving up in front of Dawson Price. As the 000 of Braden Craycraft battling it out with Vincent Isabella for third. And Craycraft going to get by Isabella. Braden Craycraft looking to get underneath 74 of Dawson Price early here. And here comes that 4 of Tyler Street into the picture. Tyler Street up 2 positions now to 4th. He and Vincent Isabella make contact. Isabella taps that outside wall, and it looks like there may be some damage to that 3 car. Isabella not going to be a fan of that move. We see Christian Delgado underneath Joshua Edmonds and Seth LaCroix. Edmonds and LaCroix looking to bounce back after a tough week last week at Watkins Glen. Edmonds got in some trouble. Seth LaCroix just not able to catch the leaders. Here comes Joseph Truskowski looking to challenge for 7th now. And that 000 of Braden Craycraft in trouble there. He is sideways, bringing out our first caution of the night here on lap 6. We'll see what happened there with Braden Craycraft. It looks like he just catches the apron and loses it there. It looks like, I believe that was the 5 of Cody Sanderson behind him coming into the picture. We saw him come in there late. Sanderson getting loose there as well. He's going to make contact with that outside wall. And that car will come to a rest on the high side. And we'll check in with another special paint scheme here tonight. That 99 of Tristan Haynes. He is another one running one of these special cancer paint schemes. And tonight he is racing in honor of his aunt, Kathy Stojic. I hope I said that right, Tristan. Tristan running in honor of his aunt, Kathy Stojic, who lost the battle with pancreatic cancer. Tristan is currently knocking on the door of the top 10, up 6 positions from where he started, up to 11th. John Ross will be in control of this one. When we go back, green flag racing. Dawson Price will be to his outside. Tyler Street, they're in third. He's made his way up through the pack, up 3 positions. And it is shaping up to look almost like a repeat of last week at Watkins Glen, minus the road course. And Tyler Street also racing in honor of his grandfather tonight, Thomas Street, who passed due to lung cancer. And they are doubled up. We are getting ready to go back racing here, folks. And it looks like John Ross is electing to start from the outside here. The pace car is off. John Ross in control of this one. Green flag is out. John Ross going to take off here. Dawson Price getting left in the dust. That high line got a run, though. Joshua Edmonds pushing up to second now. The 13 of Christian Delgado looking to enter the fray here as well. Delgado getting out in front of Tyler Street. Delgado now looking to the inside of Joshua Edmonds. And we really see how these two lines are available to these drivers here at Homestead. You can run the outside or the inside and still be fast. That inside line, though, however, will chew your tires up a little bit faster than that outside line. So I'd imagine we're going to start seeing some of these drivers start to migrate to the high side as this race goes on. Christian Edmonds and Or I'm sorry, Joshua Edmonds and Christian Delgado make contact. Edmonds will get the worst of that one. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened there. It looks like Joshua Edmonds, just oversteered coming off the corner a little bit, trying to keep that car off the wall. Christian Delgado coming up the track. They just make contact. And Edmonds will go for a ride. It does not appear any damage to that 17 car. So he will have to drop to the back of the pack, but he will live to fight another day. Edmonds currently being shown here in 27th. And that is our second caution of the night coming out here on lap 12. John Ross still our leader here. Dawson Price in second. Christian Delgado in third. Tyler Street in fourth. And Seth LaCroix rounding out your top five. Back there in sixth, we have the 56 of Samuel Reed. We saw him elect not to qualify here at Watkins Glen in the race just before this one and make his way all the way up to the front. He qualified tonight. Started in ninth. He is now up to sixth, up 3 positions from where he started. And he is another one running a special paint scheme here tonight in honor of his mom, Kirsty Reed, a breast cancer survivor. We hope you are watching here tonight, Kirsty. I know Samuel is trying to put that car in victory lane for her tonight. They are doubled up. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing. The lights on the pace car are off. And the pace car is off. We are back green flag racing here. John Ross getting a great start, as well as Christian Delgado on that low side. Delgado moving up to second now. Dawson Price falls in line back there in third. As the top 5 get it sorted out, and they are 2 by 2 behind them. Checking in with that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. He is down 3 positions from where he started. We saw him on the move early, and it looks like he just got caught in the wrong spot during one of those cautions and has dropped here, but he is looking to make his way back to the front. And we've got a battle heating up for second. Dawson Price had a nose to the inside of Christian Delgado. Delgado going to pull away on that low line. Dawson Price looking to take the high line, trying to save a little bit of tire. Price now moving to the low side. He is underneath Christian Delgado, and it looks like he is almost going to clear him. Not quite enough there as Delgado gets the run off the high side. Delgado now on the outside wall. And that will open up the door for Dawson Price to complete that pass. Dawson Price going to pull up in front of Delgado. But Delgado not going away here. Back there in fourth, we have the 4 of Tyler Street. And Samuel Reed looking to make his way to the front. You see him running tight there to that 45 of Jonathan Dominics. Reed will complete that. Or is looking to complete that pass on that 29 of Seth LaCroix. Here comes Joseph Truskowski. He is continuing his charge through the field as he gets ready to go to work on the 23 of Chris Evans. Truskowski now diving down to the inside. Evans all the way up by the wall. It looks like he may have made slight contact there. He is still fast and going to stay in front of Joseph Truskowski for the time being. The front of the field has begun. Start to pull away here. Still a lot of tough racing back in the pack. Dominics is trying to hold off Tristan Haynes right now. Truskowski still trying that low line. And you see, as Truskowski enters the corner on that low line, he is able to get a great run and make up a lot of ground, but about halfway through that corner, that car is starting to bog down on him. You know, it looks like he has warmed up his tires and chewed up his tires, and that car is starting to want to push to the outside line. When that car starts to push, you have to really get out of the gas, maybe even get on the brakes a little bit. Try and get that car slowed down to stay on that bottom line. There we see Truskowski keeping it glued there to the bottom that time by, and he is able to complete the pass. But Jonathan Dominic slow on the low side. Pulls Truskowski up there. Almost allowing Chris Evans to get to Truskowski's back bumper, but Truskowski will complete the pass here. Not only for 9th, he will complete the pass for 8th as well. And checking in with that 56 of Samuel Reed, still running there in 6th. See the 99 of Tristan Haynes now trying to gain on that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. Haynes now trying to work that low line, trying to find a little bit of speed. Truskowski is still continuing that charge to the front. About a second and a half behind Samuel Reed, but Truskowski has shown that he has speed here. He is pushing that car as hard as it will go. Now 27 laps into this one. And Johnny Quick saying Cody Sanderson is looking good. I must agree. Cody Sanderson in that 5 car. Right now, up 13 positions to 10th. I do believe this is the first time that Sanderson has cracked the top 10 here tonight. We go back to the front of the pack. Dawson Price still sitting there in second. He has not been able to pull away from Christian Delgado whatsoever. Delgado hanging right there with him. Delgado, a hard charger here tonight, up 7 positions. As Truskowski has just worked his way around that 56 of Samuel Reed. Is looking to go to work on the 29 of Seth LaCroix. And Truskowski is really pushing that car hard here. You're expecting to see some tire fall off out of that 57. But he appears to be doing a good job of keeping those tires cool as he goes by LaCroix on the outside now 31 laps into this. Truskowski charging to the front here, and he may become a factor here later on in this race. Still a lot of race to go. We still have green flag, or we still have pit stops coming up here as well. And back up front, Christian Delgado has gotten by Dawson Price as well. And is starting to open up that gap. Now, 0.7 of a second between Delgado and Price. Tyler Street still running back there in 4th. But caution is out. We wait to see who was caught up in this one. It may have been Chris Jones. Not Chris Jones. We were waiting on scoring to let us know what the incident was for, and it looks like it may be a debris incident here. But that will slow us up here for our 3rd caution of the night. As pit stops have started here, John Ross will lead them down pit road. It it looks like Seth LaCroix will be the only vehicle to stay out on track here. And Delgado going to win the race off pit road. Delgado picking up a position here on pit road. He will be restarting second behind Seth LaCroix now. And we will step away for a quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. Seth LaCroix, looks like he missed pit road. He does come down pit road here the second time by. That's going to be costly for him. I know there are some frustrations in that Apex Racing team with their pit strategy, and it's going to continue here tonight. So Christian Delgado will restart in first now. He's going to elect to take the inside line here. John Ross in second, Dawson Price in third, Joseph Truskowski in fourth, and Tyler Street will round out your top five. And the pace car is off. Green flag is back out. Christian Delgado going to take off here. He leads them down into turn one. Delgado there getting a good restart. Dawson Price also getting a good restart. He is up to second now, working his way around John Ross. But here comes that 57 of Joseph Truskowski here. Joseph Truskowski working that high line. Truskowski's going to fall in line there in third place. But he is working to the inside of Dawson Price now. Not going to get it done there. John Ross now trying to get back to the inside of Truskowski. Truskowski trying to make that high line work for him. And no, we did not, Johnny. I have been searching my scoring. I'm not sure what the yellow was for there. Unfortunately, sometimes with SDK gaming, it does not recognize the yellow if the cars do not slow down to a certain speed. So possibly someone getting out of shape coming off of a corner. Joseph Truskowski followed Dawson Price there on that high line. He cuts it down to about the middle of the track. And it's alongside Dawson Price. Price is going to get a run down the front stretch here. But I don't think it's going to be enough to hold off Joseph Truskowski for long. Truskowski looks to take over second place here. Now Truskowski working that high line. Price tried to go low. That works to hold off Truskowski for now, but that 57 is not going to go away. And Hunter G in the chat rooting for that 99 of Tristan Haynes here. And now Truskowski going to take over second place, and he is going to close in with Christian Delgado. Check back in with Seth LaCroix, currently being shown a lap down for his incident with pit road. Sibley now saying Tristan Haynes has a good looking rep. Must be done by Bird Wraps. That pink paint scheme once again. Tristan Haynes racing in honor of Kathy Stojic, his aunt. Ooh, trouble for the 57 of Joseph Truskowski. He goes around coming off of the corner. And it looks like he just pushed that car just a little bit too hard there. Go back, take another look at this. You see him getting out of shape. He just overcorrected right into that outside wall. He was loose up there on the high side, tried to save that car. A frustrating incident for that 57 team. We will check in with another special paint scheme being run here tonight by the 43 of Terrell Wheeler. He is racing in honor of his grandfather tonight, Michael Wheeler, who passed due to myeloma cancer. Terrell currently sitting back there in 21st here tonight. And pit stops have started. Correction. Looks like a fake by John Ross going down pit road. He even fooled the scoring system. But he will stay out here. right, and we are going to take a quick commercial break here.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages.
All right, and we are back. Thank you to FedUp for sponsoring this race. I sure hope that company's not delivering my Christmas gifts this year. They are doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. We're getting ready to go back racing here, folks. Christian Delgado has the lead. Dawson Price sitting in second. John Ross in third. Tyler Street in fourth. Jonathan Dominics rounding out your top five. As the pace car dives off, green flag is out. Christian Delgado in charge of this one. He will lead them down to turn one. And we see the 23 getting sideways off the restart there. That is the 23 of Chris Evans. Looks like Christopher Foote also caught up in that. Let's go back see what happened here. It looks like maybe someone just didn't go there. We're going to ride along with Chris. One more time here. Yep, and it looks like it was just a checkup. We rode along with Christopher Foote that time. One more time from Chris Evans' point of view. It looks like that 51 may have gotten checked up by the car in front of him. That's what's going to bring out our fifth caution of the night here on lap 48. All right, and they will double them back up. Lights on the pace car go out. We have been given the 1 to go signal here. And the pace car is off. Christian Delgado going to lead them to the green flag yet again. Green flag is out. And it looks like everyone got going this time. Delgado jumps out to the lead. Keep your eye on that 44 of John Ross, though. He's up to the outside. He got a good restart there. Not quite enough to clear Dawson Price, though. Price is going to battle back on that low side. And Vincent Isabella looking to enter the chat here. He thought about taking it 3 wide. Not quite enough there yet. As John Ross will take over second place. Vincent Isabella here, though, is charging. He is now up to third. But Tyler Street not going away either. Tyler Street looking to make a move on Isabella. He's got to go where Isabella isn't. He gets to the inside of Isabella. They make contact. They will keep it straight, though, but that probably got Vincent Isabella a little bit out of shape, allowing Tyler Street to get to the inside of him. They race down the backstretch. And Dawson Price looking for a hole to try and get back up towards the front. Price is going with Tyler Street here. The Street and Isabella continue to battle. Isabella getting a run down the backstretch there. Tyler Street going to make that ground right back up on the low side, though, as they go through the corners. Jonathan Dominic's out of shape here. And the 45 of Jonathan Dominic's going to go around. Some heavy right front damage to that 45 machine. We're going to go back, take a look at this one. We see Dominic's getting absolutely obliterated after that car comes to a rest here. That may have been Steven Linger that came in there. Currently being shown Steven Linger on pit road. We're going to ride along. Oh, maybe not. Maybe an internet issue for Steven Linger. So he's getting that car worked on, and a disappointing night for him. He is another one of those special paint schemes that we've had out here for cancer awareness. He is racing in honor of his grandmother, Barbara Joan Odell, who passed from breast cancer in 2009. And pit stops have started here. Tyler Street and Samuel Reed electing to stay out here. Christian Delgado led them down pit road. And it It looks like Braden Craycraft, Byron Gay, Chris Evans, Terrell Wheeler, and Christopher Foote also electing to stay out. I do believe LaCroix is going to stay out too, trying to get his lap back here. So Tyler Street becomes your new leader here. Samuel Reed in second, Braden Craycraft in third, Byron Gay in fourth, Chris Evans running fifth, Terrell Wheeler in sixth, Christopher Foote back there in seventh, Joshua Edmonds is going to restart eighth, Christian Delgado will restart ninth, and John Ross will round out your top 10. And the lights on the pace car are out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing here, folks. Tyler Street will be in control of this one. And the pace car is going to dive off. Tyler Street will lead them down to the green flag this time by. Green flag is out. Tyler Street going to take off. He's able to pull up in front of Samuel Reed pretty quickly there on the restart. Samuel Reed trying to hold off Byron Gay, but Byron Gay getting a run to the outside here. And caution is out. Looks like Vincent Isabella caught up in this. Right along with Vincent Isabella, and he just got sideways. He's able to keep that car straight, though. Looks like Tristan Haynes was also caught up in that. Go back, take a step further back. It looks like he may have got run over from behind. We see Joseph Truskowski and Vincent Isabella entering pit lane now. Truskowski driving through his pit stall, and it looks like he has some front end damage. He may have gotten a piece of an incident here. He's going to get that car worked on, try and get back into this one. So Tyler Street is still your leader. Byron Gay now running second. Samuel Reed in third. Braden Craycraft in fourth. Chris Evans rounding out your top five. We will step away for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up. 2x2 lights on the pace car are out. We're getting ready to go green flag yet again. Once again, Tyler Street will lead them to the green flag here. Green flag is out. Tyler Street going to take off. Samuel Reed looking to follow suit. Samuel Reed trying to move back to second place here. And it looks like he is going to clear Byron Gay. Correction, Byron Gay going to battle back on the high side there. He's going to get the run off of turn 2. Not quite enough to hold off Samuel Reed, and here comes Braden Craycraft on the outside. Craycraft working that outside. He is up to 4th now. Craycraft going to try the inside of Byron Gay there. Christian Delgado working that outside, though. He is up very high through these turns. He is trying to gain some ground up top there. He can make contact with the outside wall, though. As Craycraft will go around Gay. Trouble for... I believe that was Byron Gay coming together with Chris Evans. And it looked like Gay just had nowhere to go. He was getting passed on the inside and the outside. He collects Chris Evans as well. And we'll ride along with that 23 of Chris Evans. And as you can see there, Byron Gay, you know, the outside angle showed Byron Gay was just caught in the middle. He could not move up the track. Chris Evans expected him to move up the track, and unfortunately, it was just not possible for Byron Gay to do so. And, you know, those two make contact. I do believe that is going to end Chris Evans' night. Tyler Street will lead them down pit road. Braden Craycraft, Christian Delgado, Christopher Foote, John Ross, Joshua Edmonds, Dawson Price, Cody Sanderson electing to stay out here. So that will shake up our front runners yet again. Braden Craycraft has the lead here. Christian Delgado in second. Christopher Foote in third. John Ross in fourth. Joshua Edmonds in fifth. Dawson Price in running sixth. Cody Sanderson is currently running seventh. Stephen Blevins in eighth. Joseph Miller in ninth. And Justin Day running 10th. And we will step aside for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn one. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out. We will go back green flag racing this time by Braden Craycraft in control of this one. Pace car is off. Green flag is out. Braden Craycraft going to take off here. We are now down to 30 laps to go. Craycraft taking control of the lead. Christian Delgado falling in line back there in second. John Ross. Caution. Caution is out. Looks like Tyler Street caught up in this. We see Tyler Street going around there. We're going to go back, take a look at this from the green flag here. Tyler Street back in the pack there. Got Seth LaCroix behind him. Street looked to take it 3 wide, and it looks like he just pushed that car just a little bit too hard, taking it 3 wide. Spins himself out. He won't make contact with anything. No damage done to that 4 car. But that is going to hurt when it comes to track position. And the 9th caution of the night will fly here on lap 71. All right, and the lights on the pace car will go out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing as they double them up. Braden Craycraft, once again, your race leader. He's got Christian Delgado, his outside. John Ross restarting in third. Christopher Foote restarting fourth. Dawson Price rounding out your top five. I just like to point out the statistics I am looking at here on my charts. Braden Craycraft has his hands full on this one. He currently has an I rating of 1,775 and a D license rating, although it will be promoted to C here at the end of the season. Everyone around him, Christian Delgado, John Ross, Dawson Price, all have over 3,000 I ratings and all high A-class drivers. Braden Craycraft has a tall order to fill if he wants to stay on the front or up front here in this one. And the pace car is off. Green flag is out. Braden Craycraft going to take off here. John Ross looking to follow suit. Ross charging hard on that inside line. "26 laps left to go in this one. Craycraft in the outside wall. That opens up the door for John Ross to get to the inside of Craycraft. Craycraft slow going down the backstretch. He's going to try and battle back on that high side. I don't know if he's going to have enough to do it, though. He gets the run down the front stretch. Caution comes out. Cody Sanderson and Leroy Koblenz, as well as Cole Shapesky, caught up in this. I do believe Braden Craycraft able to hold on to that first position here. So Braden Craycraft, a slight mistake getting into that outside wall on the backstretch. Right after we go back green flag racing, John Ross got a run there. Braden Craycraft able to hold on long enough to get that caution to keep him on in the first place position. We go back, take a look, see what happened here with Cody Sanderson. It looks like Cody Sanderson just made contact with the 16 of Joseph Miller. All right, and that will bring out our 10th caution of the night here on lap 75. So once again, Braden Craycraft holding on to that first place position. Christian Delgado moves up to second. Stephen Blevins making his way up to third. Vincent Isabella in fourth. Jonathan Dominics will restart fifth. Joseph Miller going to restart 6th. Justin Day will restart 7th. Seth LaCroix is going to restart 8th. Tyler Street in 9th. Byron Gay will restart 10th. So keep an eye on that 29 of Seth LaCroix. A pit road mistake earlier, or lack of going down pit road earlier, cost him a lap. He is back on the lead lap, making his way back up to 8th. And it does appear once we get back going here, they're going to have about 22 laps to go. 21, 22 laps to go here. More than enough time for Seth LaCroix to make his way through the pack and be up front at the end of this one. And the pace car is off. Braden Craycraft leads them down to the green flag. Braden Craycraft going to get the jump there. Christian Delgado thought about going low there for a second. There he goes. Christian Delgado looking to take the low side on Craycraft. Craycraft gonna get the run down the backstretch just enough to hold off Christian Delgado for the time being. I don't know how much longer he can hold off that 13 of Delgado, though. Delgado looking to the inside yet again. A great entrance into turn 1 there for Christian Delgado. But Craycraft gets the run off the high side there. Delgado able to stay alongside him. These two are neck and neck. Now 19 laps to go. Christian Delgado still trying to make that low line work. And Delgado's going to complete the pass this time by Braden Craycraft, thinking about a crossover move. Delgado's right there to block it, though. And here comes Jonathan Dominics into the fray as well. Dominics inside of Stephen Blevins, trying to work that low line. That was Delgado starting to open up that gap, now half a second back to him. From him back to Craycraft, who is now dealing with Jonathan Dominics. Dominics trying to work that low line as well. He's being followed by that 3 of Vincent Isabella. Craycraft makes contact with the outside wall. That should allow Vincent Isabella to complete his pass here. And look who is back up front, Tyler Street in that 4 car. Street now finding that speed after being involved in an incident earlier where he was trying to make his way up to the front, took it 3 wide, and ended up just overdriving the car, spinning himself around. But he is now knocking on the door of the podium. Here comes the Apex Racing guys as well. Dawson Price leading that charge. He is currently sitting in 6th. Seth LaCroix back there in 8th. Apex Racing looking to make a late race charge here as LaCroix goes by Craycraft. And checking in with Braden Craycraft. We've seen him make contact a few times with that outside wall. He is off the pace, and it does look like he has some right side damage to that 000. Maybe holding him up here. We're now down to 14 laps to go. Vincent Isabella's working that high line, trying to make up ground on Jonathan Dominic's. Only 0.2 of a second separating these drivers. Christian Delgado, though, continuing to run away with this one. 0.8 of a second, his lead over Jonathan Dominic's, as we are now down to 12 laps to go. Vincent Isabella still trying to work that high line. 0.2 of a second between... I'm sorry, 0.4 of a second between him and Jonathan Dominic's. Dominic's was faster than both Isabella and Delgado that last time by. I tell you what, I'm keeping an eye on this 4 of Tyler Street as he goes to the inside of Vincent Isabella. Street was faster the last time by. Tyler Street not able to complete the pass on Vincent Isabella just yet. He falls in line behind that 3 cars. We are down to 10 laps to go. Street, though, is not going away. He is working that low line. He got a good run into the corner, able to clear Vincent Isabella. Street now to 3rd. Once again, those Apex Racing guys, Dawson Price, Seth LaCroix, currently sitting 6th and 7th. They're getting ready to go to work on that 16 of Joseph Miller. Looking further back in the pack, Cody Sanderson. We saw him involved in that last incident. Johnny saying what a rebound for Cody, and it looks like he has rebounded. He has made his way back into the top 10 here. We are down to 7 laps to go. Tyler Street has cleared Vincent Isabella, but it is a 2.5 seconds back to the next car of Jonathan Dominic's. Tyler Street looks like, unless we get a late race caution, this might be as far as Street gets. Christian Delgado, though, 0.6 of a second of a lead over Jonathan Dominic's. They are running identical lap times. Dawson Price now has caught that 16 of Joseph Miller. We're going to see if he can make this pass. His time is winding down in this one. Only 5 to go here. Price has pulled up alongside of Joseph Miller. While Price and Miller are battling it out, they are still able to gain a little bit of ground on Vincent Isabella. Isabella looks like he's had some tire fall off. And unfortunately, Isabella's taken that high line. That may hold up Joseph Miller and allow Dawson Price to complete this pass here. Now 3 laps to go. Dawson Price is going to complete his pass over Joseph Miller. He may have time to get by that 3 of Vincent Isabella. Looks like the tire fall off on that 3 car has really hindered Isabella here. Is Dawson Price going to pull up next to him through that corner? Isabella getting the run down the front stretch, but Dawson Price is there. Isabella thinking about a crossover move. Not going to make it, though, as Dawson Price completes that pass for 4th. And Christian Delgado takes the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Next flag ends the race. No pressure out in the back for that 13 car. 0.6 of a second separating him and Jonathan Dominics as he enters turns 3 and 4. Delgado going to keep it straight off of turn 4. Delgado going to take the checker flag. Jonathan Dominics in second. Tyler Street is going to come home 4th or 3rd. Dawson Price will come home 4th. Vincent Isabella will round out your top 5 here. As Christian Delgado will bring it down to the front stretch to begin his celebration. And Delgado will burn it down. We are going to get ready to start our interviews here. We will begin our interviews with our 3rd place finisher, that 4 of Tyler Street. Tyler, tossing up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on a top 3 finish here. We kind of counted you out after that mid-race incident where you try to take it 3 wide, and it looks like you just lost control and spun yourself. Take us through that drive back up to the front after that incident.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what happened there. I know I was up pretty close to Tristan that I just don't know if I lost the air on that and then it just looped me. After that, it was just kind of just regroup, make sure everything's okay on the tires enough to just kind of push and push forward basically. And I know when I was pushing there that there was a lot of cars that were getting into each other, getting really close. Had just a lot of that stuff that kind of made it work. But I just knew the bottom was gonna be the better way to do it. It helps last the tire. It makes the tires last longer overall. So I just kind of had to stay clean in my head and just kind of move forward.
Well, it looked like it paid off. I know you wanted the win here tonight, but taking another third place finish, another podium finish, feels like we talk to you here week in and week out. Got to feel good to be on the podium again, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I try not to think about it of the points wise of stuff of in the series, but um the better, more consistent you can do, the better your results are going to be, and the more top threes or top fives that I can keep getting is going to help me in the championship as well to keep me up there in the points. Obviously got the lead a couple laps, so that'll help me get some little bonus points. I got my time beat there at the very end by Jonathan for a quick get slap, so I lost that little bonus point, but really just trying to keep consistent out of myself.
All right. Well, the consistency is the key here, at least until we get to the playoffs. Then it's all out battles. But you were running a special paint scheme tonight, in honor of in our cancer awareness night tonight. I saw your grandfather Thomas Street passed of lung cancer. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I lost him at a younger age where he meant a lot to me as not just as a grandparent, but he was like another kind of another father figure basically. Lost him to lung cancer. It was kind of one of those things that we kind of saw it a little bit. He got sick at the time and just kind of saw it coming up. So he was him and I were big fishing buddies basically and hunting buddies that we had a lot of competitions, and I have a lot of valuable of competition books that my grandpa used to write all the time of us fishing and that. So he was a big part of my life, and cancer sucks. It's never cool. It's never cool at all. So I will always contribute every racing that I do basically to him.
All right. Well, and I think we're all in agreement. Cancer sucks. I'll point out the tailgate of the Apex Racing guys. They pretty much sum up our view of cancer here at the Rebel Racing Network. But I know your grandfather's looking down, is proud of you getting another podium finish here tonight. So we'll let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone else you would like to thank tonight?
I think LGR Motorsports, just this group is a really cool group that we do together and helping us out every week. And then just thank you all set up on the bar on the broadcast of doing this every week. I got to go back and watch the Watkins Glens. I really wanted to watch it. Come down to the finish there. I missed most of the live when you were doing it there, so I'll go back and rewatch it. And just everybody in this league's cool to do. It's something cool for me to do in the off season of my real racing, so I enjoy every little bit of it.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations again on another third place finish.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Once again, guys, that was Tyler Street coming home in third tonight. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Jonathan Dominics. Jonathan, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
All right. Congratulations on a podium finish. If I'm not mistaken here, it's been a little while since you've been up here in the booth with me.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while since the end of season 1, I think.
I believe so. How does it feel to be back on the podium here tonight?
It feels pretty good, Miami. It's not my strongest track, but it's giving me a lot of confidence.
And and I want to say I disagree with you there, but yeah, we were, it seemed like we didn't talk about you for most of the race. You were kind of middle of the pack. You qualified back there in 14th, but you kind of come out of nowhere at the end to finish second place. What was the key to making up all that ground here at the end of this race?
Yeah, you know what? I just want to shout out Samuel Reed. He told me I lost all my talent, so had a little chip on my shoulder there. Showed, put my money where my mouth is and shut him up real quick.
All right. So sounds like we got a little bit of a rivalry brewing here. You want to elaborate on that, Jonathan?
Not so much a rivalry. I just felt disrespected when he said that, so I felt like I had something to prove.
All right. Well, looks like you proved it here tonight. Um, we're gonna let you get on out of here though. Before we do, anyone you would like to shout out?
Just shout out to my game, my Keystone Motorsports Group teammates. They're here for me. They're not here this weekend, but they're always here for me on the back end. So huge thanks to them.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. And we will see you back here next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Once again, that was Dominic's driver, the number 45, coming home in second tonight. We're going to move on to tonight's winner, though, Christian Delgado. Christian, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Got you guys.
All right. Congratulations on another win. It's you're a rookie this season, but it seems like we're talking to you at least every other week. I think you've proven that you are a force to be reckoned with here in the Cup Series. How does it feel to get the win here tonight?
Yeah, it definitely feels really good. Obviously, my first win this season. We've come close a couple of times. I think it's 2-2-1 now. So it feels nice to finally get a one under my belt here at Homestead. And obviously with the playoffs coming up, obviously I know with the regular season, just being consistent and being up here towards the front will get you a good seeding into the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, obviously Homestead, one of my favorite tracks here on the service, and with what the event is, it's definitely really special to take home a victory here at Homestead.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. And we were watching you on that last restart. You had to make your way around Braden Craycraft to get the win here. Take us through that battle with Craycraft.
Yeah, he did a good job, holding off, especially on the older tires, and everybody knows here that you can really run the top and defend pretty well. Um, Really anyone on the top lane there. But yeah, I was just trying to be patient, running the bottom, trying to roll the center a little bit better, because obviously, since you're going the shorter way around the track, obviously it's a little bit less distance to get clear of, and I was just trying to be patient, trying to give the zero room to do what he needed to, and finally, I got to where I was, side by side out of the exits with him. I knew that once I was able to, at least get at least my nose there at his quarter panel, that I was going to be able to get around him sooner or later just with the fresher tires. And I felt like we had good pace throughout the whole race here. But yeah, it was definitely fun racing with him, especially, knowing that with the fresher tires, I think, you know, I don't think tires meant a whole lot, because obviously we saw some guys come down pit road on that last caution and weren't able to drive up through the field here. So it was just kind of about being patient with the car and making sure you don't overdrive the entry, because here, especially at Homestead on both corners, if you overdrive entry, it just kind of kills the rest of the corner here. So just being smooth, being consistent, and being patient. I'm thankful that the zero was giving me enough room to where I could, we could both have a good race there for the win.
All right. And one more thing I want to touch on. We did an in honor of for our cancer awareness night, and we saw you posted a little bit of information about your dad, Michael Dobbs, with the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Tell us a little bit about his story.
Yeah, obviously we lost dad in 2022 to non-Hodgkin's. He served in the military as a combat medic in the army, and obviously down in Afghanistan there was a lot of chemicals and stuff that he was just around all the time. And fortunately, he got non-Hodgkin's back when he was deployed overseas. Came back and got his treatment, and initially the doctors thought he was cured, because they thought it was Hodgkin's, not non-Hodgkin's. And he went back and then fought for a couple more years, and then came back, and then it came back in 2008. And obviously that was really, I mean, I was 8 or 9 when the cancer came back, and really hard to see him, someone I obviously looked up to, fighting with that. and then he was put into. We thought he was cured again, and then back in 2018 it came back, and we figured out it was non-Hodgkin's and it was attacking his T cells, which is unfortunately uncurable. So basically, all they could do was put him in remission and hope for the best, and wait for it to come back basically. And he got put into remission in 2019, but unfortunately with all the chemo and radiation and everything that he'd gone in, a lot of doctors said, if you put him in a dark room, he'd light up like a Christmas tree just with all the radiation he was given. But yeah, unfortunately with all that chemo and radiation, he it gave him stage 3 heart failure and emphysema and a lot of other stuff, just because of obviously chemo and radiation. It literally just kills everything. And unfortunately lost him back in 2021. I mean in 2022, and yeah, I mean going back to that, it means a lot to get a win for him. He was the person who showed me racing and NASCAR for the first time as a kid, and me we used to go back and forth because he was a Gordon fan, I was a Harvick fan, and he hated Harvick because we obviously Harvick took over for Dale, and obviously no Gordon fan will cheer for that 3 car. So it was always fun, going back and forth with him about racing and just talking shit about our drivers and stuff. But yeah, Dad, wherever you're watching, this one's for you, man. I love you and I miss you.
All right. Well, we know he is looking down and very proud here tonight, but we're going to let you get on out of here. And before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank my teammates and team owners over at Adrenaline Racing, John Ross, Leroy, who raced with us tonight, and all the guys over at Adrenaline, Zach, Nate, Ron, John Fowler, all the guys down there who give me a place to race and be competitive. Definitely couldn't. I don't think I'd be racing here without them, inviting me and having me race with them in here. Got to give a huge shout out to Andreas Varez and Delta Eagle Designs for making this beautiful paint. I mean, obviously this paint means a lot to me because of Dad and stuff. So thank you, Andreas, so much for being a partner with me and everything else with what you do for me and my other stuff. Got to give a huge shout out to my partners as well, High Velocity TV. If you guys are looking for broadcasting network outside of Rebel Racing Network, you guys do a fantastic job. But if you guys are looking for some cool stuff, we do have some custom tickers and stuff like that. We can do whatever you kind of want us to. But if you guys are looking for any interest in that outside of Rebel Racing, make sure to email us at hvtvbroadcasting@aol.com. Got to give a huge shout out to the Bean team and everybody over there for supporting me through thick and thin. Shout out to everybody at FFC, Bingus, McLeod, everybody, Jeff, Tyler, Demos, Gavin, everybody. You know who you are. So definitely couldn't be where I am right now without all those people supporting me through thick and thin. Lastly, got to give a huge shout out to the people over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13. They've been here before I even started iRacing, so definitely couldn't do without them. And lastly, got to give a huge shout out to Tyrell and all the admins here. I know it's a handful to get everything set up and make sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. Definitely couldn't do without everybody putting in the time and energy in the background, like Tyrell and all the admins here. So a big shout out to everybody at NORA who runs the show here. And then lastly, got to give a huge shout out to everybody over at Rebel Racing Network and for all you guys putting all the time and energy to do the broadcast and stuff, and obviously doing the Watkins Glen thing. I know a lot of broadcasters who will say, "Oh, I missed Watkins Glen. Sorry," but you guys put in the extra effort to go back and broadcast it, and I know that definitely doesn't go out of sight for me, at least. So I appreciate everything you guys do for the league, and just going back and being able to watch the broadcast and share with friends and family is definitely also really cool. So definitely couldn't do without all you guys over there at Rebel Racing Network.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, sir. Congratulations on a first place finish, and we will see you back here next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. Once again, that was Christian Delgado bringing home the win here tonight We're going to move on to our official results here. Once again, Christian Delgado took home the win. Jonathan Dominics finishes second tonight. Tyler Street in third. Dawson Price will come home in fourth. Vincent Isabella will finish fifth. Joseph Miller finishes sixth. Seth LaCroix will finish seventh. Cody Sanderson finishes in eighth. Stephen Blevins finishes ninth. Samuel Reed finishes 10th. Justin Day will finish 11th. Byron Gay finishes 12th. Terrell Wheeler finishes 13th. Joshua Edmonds will finish 14th. Christopher Foote finishes 15th. Mike Hill will finish 16th. Tristan Haynes will finish 17th. Braden Craycraft finishes 18th. Stephen Linger will come home 19th. Joseph Truskowski finishes 20th. In 21st, we had John Ross. Chris Jones will come home in 22nd. Cole Shapesky finishes 23rd. Leroy Koblenz will finish 24th. Chris Evans comes home in 25th. Blaine Brink will finish 26th. And Scott Leonard will come home in 27th. And that will round out your field. Once again, guys, make sure you are here tomorrow night for the NORA ARCA series live from Charlotte Motor Speedway. That will start at 9 p.m. And then we have the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series on Wednesday nights, and they will be live from, I believe it is I believe it is Echo Park Speedway for the Third Coast Race Xfinity Series. They have changed up their schedule just a little bit due to the Thanksgiving break, but they will be here on Wednesday nights starting at 8:30. And then next Sunday night, make sure you tune back in for the Cup Series live from Phoenix Raceway. Once again, that is December 7th for 150 laps. I would just like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit like, follow, subscribe, and tune in for all this racing we are about to bring you throughout the Christmas season. Until tomorrow night, this is Austin Householder saying thank you, and we will see you later.